This is how the AMR or AGVs can be, details can be fetched in, and you can create a logic. Hello guys, hope you are doing good and welcome to another grand interesting video on your Leansimcorp channel. And in this today's video, we are going to learn how to code for AGV class and Flexsim. Okay, so it's going to be a complete series and tutorial. This is our video 8th on Flexsim scripting. Okay, that we call as flex scripting. So we will be continuing upcoming videos on understanding AGV class. Okay, so let us begin. So the AGV is nothing but a task executor which you will be getting in the task executor sequence, here in the segments, and you can just drag it and the area it can be pulled into environment and used. So basically we are having two areas. So this is a pickup point and this is an unload point, in between which AGVs would be used to deliver the details. Okay, and I'll just make this code editor somewhat bigger. Okay, so if you could look at, this is how the code editor looks like. So if I just go in the AMR1 and when we go here on AGV allocate, if I just make this bigger, we are going to open this code window. This is a code editor. Okay, and in this basically we can type in whatever codes we want to put. So basically Flexsim coding can be done in these triggers. Okay, so what we are going to do now, so whenever a AGV is going to allocate to the new control point, this trigger is going to get initiated because this trigger is on AGV allocate. Okay, so when you look into the properties for the AGV, so let me just click onto the AGV and you can see here in the triggers on AGV allocate is what I've created, and we have a custom code in that. Okay, now let us understand about coding in AGVs and understanding different classes, methods, properties, syntax which we will be using in order to get the details out of AGVs. Okay, when we are doing a simulation model in Flexsim. So AGV is going to be a class. That is what we are going to learn today. And AGV class has properties, methods, and constructor. Constructor is basically used in order to convert a task executor, or basically to get the details to fetch task executor as AGV. Okay, that is where we use constructor, and constructor is only one, and that is capital AGV, which you can see here. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to start with the properties for now. Okay, which would be in AGV class, and let us understand those step by step and how those can be used, what syntax you need to use it, and what is the purpose of using those. Okay, so before we begin, I would like to make it clear that AGV and small AGV is not the same. Okay, these are different because you are going to get different syntaxes for that. So for example, I'll just show you. When you have bigger capital AGV, you're going to get these all details. Okay, that is AGV travel path section, trailers, and these details. When we type in small AGV and dot, you're going to get multiple features, and these are nothing but the properties which we are talking about. So for properties, we need to have a small AGV. Okay, now let us begin with AGV dot accum ahead AGV. Okay, so basically this syntax is nothing but a property which is to be used in order to get the AGV which is ahead of your particular AGV. Okay, so say for example this AGV and this AGV are moving, and I have applied a code to only AMR1. Okay, because I want to get the details of that particular AGV. If I want to find out that what AGV or which AGV is ahead of my AGV, this is what syntax you need to use. Okay, so what you need to do is if AGV dot accum ahead AGV. Okay, so basically if you're going to have a AGV ahead of yours, you're going to enter this code or you are not going to get it. Okay, whenever a AGV is having another AGV ahead of it, then only you're going to get in. And once you get in, you can see I have defined another property out here, that AGV2 is going to be a AGV. Okay, I'm assigning a class of AGV to this variable. Okay, and so you will be seeing that my AGV2 will give me the object AGV. Okay, when AGV.accumulate. Again, the point to be noted here is that if you want to get this detail, or if you want to have this code executed, you need to have this path as accumulating. Okay, so what does that mean is, how can I change that? So you need to click on the path and you need to click on this default accumulation, and we have no accumulation. Okay, so these two paths are set to default accumulation. Okay, now when I apply this, when I reset this, and when I run this, let us check in this. Okay, I'm just doing continue so that it runs. And as I mentioned, on our AGV allocate, on every control point it is going to come in, it is going to trigger a code for us. It is going to trigger a console for us. So let us see, I'm making the continue. Okay, continue. Let's make this continue. And you can see that this is basically going to be running, and the moment the another AGV is now, see, you can see it is ahead of my AGV, and I have a bug placed in between of these two. AGV dot accu my head, AGV is equal to AGV dot accu my head AGV. Okay, so the moment it is going to come onto this first decision point of this path, it is going to return as was. If you see, currently AGV2 is null. Okay, and if I just stop the simulation and make next, I am going to get AMR2. So what it is doing is, it is going to basically give you the details of another AGV. So you are going to get a name of AMR2. You can see here, now my AGV2 is my AMR2. Okay, so this way basically you can fetch in the AGV details. So which AGV is traveling ahead of you. This is a very critical area in simulation. It is often needed. You can use the syntax, you can use this class in order to get the details of which AGV is traveling ahead of you. Okay, so I'll just stop this and make that continue. So now what I will do is, I'll just make this smaller. Okay, I'll just make this apply. Now let me just close this and place it here. Okay, and let me just also make the model reset. And what I'll do is, I'll just close this for now as well. Okay, so now we are coming to this area. What we are going to find out the amperes. So now say if you want to get in the what is your amp hours remaining for your particular AGV, this is how the syntax needs to be used. So you're going to put in a double because you're going to get a number that is going to be in decimals. You're going to put it a name for that, like amps left, so it's a variable now, double, which is going to equal to AGV dot amp hours. Okay, so when you put like this AGV dot, you're going to get amp hours here, you're going to get battery level here, which we have used. You're going to get in the current CP here, current travel distance, and current. So all these are properties, so you will be just getting that there. So you just need to select that. Okay, now what you're going to do is, let me run this simulation model for you. I'll just put a random bug now and let's see. Okay, now if you see, I have 99.97. I'll just stop this, continue, and I'll just run this, and let us see for the another round how much of my amperes hours are pending. Okay,